This video's fun fact is, you can die from pooping too hard. The more you know. Now, you guys may remember a console called the PSP Go. The PSP Go, I think, was the first console ever made to be digital distribution only. It didn't use any physical media, and a lot of people didn't buy the PSP Go for a number of reasons. One reason was the fact that back in 2009 and 2010, a lot of people didn't download their games online, so it wasn't really a normal thing for people to buy their games online. And on top of that, a lot of people's internets just weren't capable of downloading games back then on the internet. Their internet was either too slow, laggy, choppy, whatever the case may be. A lot of people just couldn't download games online. Heck, if you fast forward to late 2018, there's still a lot of people today that still can't download games online because their internet's either too slow, laggy, choppy, whatever it is. They just can't download games online. So the best bet for a lot of people still right now is to go to the store, buy a game physically, and then just pop it in their game system. It's just the way it is and the way a lot of people can buy their games right now. And on top of that, Sony, if you remember the PSP, Sony actually used proprietary memory for the PSP. They used Sony memory sticks, and if you know anything about Sony memory sticks, not only were they proprietary, but the fact that they were very expensive as well. I remember back in the day trying to buy a 32 gig Sony memory stick. A 32 gig Sony memory stick back in the day was $99, and for 32 gig being $99, that's just way overpriced considering SD cards and micro SD cards are just much cheaper. Overall, there were just too many things wrong with the PSP Go, and ultimately the PSP Go was definitely not a success. And on top of that, a lot of people with the PSP Go didn't want to download the games online for another reason, because you know, with those online stores, those companies like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo can charge whatever they want for the games, and a lot of times those games don't go on sale on the on those networks, and you have to pay pretty much full price for your game. Whereas if you buy something with physical media, you can always buy games. Secondhand, so you can buy them at like a flea market, eBay, GameStop, and of course anybody can tell you what the price is. There's no set price there. So in the long run, it's going to be cheaper for you to buy something that's going to have physical media, since you're not governed by the company. You don't have to pay pretty much close to full retail for a lot of games. You can get them a lot of different ways. You can even have them borrowed from your friend if your friend owns copies of the games, and you can pretty much get games for free. So there's just a number of reasons why you wouldn't want a digital distribution only console. Well, fast forward to late 2018, early 2019, there's a rumor floating around right now. Again, there's a rumor floating around, and this is only a rumor, so take this into consideration. This may not even come out, or this may come out, but I can actually see this coming out. It looks like in early 2019, Microsoft is going to be making a disc-less Xbox One. Keep in mind, this is going to be the current generation. It's not going to be next-gen hardware, so we're not talking about like an Xbox 2, an Xbox 720, or whatever the case may be for the next-generation system. This is still going to play Xbox One games. Yes, it's still going to play Xbox One games, but the thing is, though, you're not going to be buying games physically for this system. You're going to have to buy games digitally on the Xbox Live Marketplace. So everything's going to be bought in digital distribution with this console. However, there is one good thing about this, apparently, which Sony did not allow you to do back on the PSP Go. One thing apparently Microsoft is going to allow you to do with this new Xbox One system that's going to be digitally only is the fact that they're going to allow you to actually trade in games at certain retailers and get a code for your physical collection. So if you have a physical collection of games, they'll allow you to take them into stores like GameStop, Target, Best Buy, whatever the case may be, and then once you take them in, they'll trade your physical game in for a digital code so you can download it to your system, so you don't have to buy all your games over. Heck, maybe there's sales going on in these stores and you want to take advantage of these sales. You can get these games secondhand or on these sales that are physical, and then you can trade those games in for a digital code. And I think that's the smartest way to go, so you won't piss off people who already own a collection, maybe looking to get a smaller Xbox One, because of course this new Xbox One without an optical drive is going to be a smaller console compared to an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, because there won't be an optical drive in this system. So that's nice. that's nice. Microsoft realizes that a lot of people still have physical media for this, and a lot of people still want to buy physical media or maybe take advantage of sales that retailers do throughout the years, or get them from your friend or whatever the case may be. You can trade these games in and get digital codes for these things. And there's also a number of reasons why Microsoft would actually want to make digital distribution only Xbox One. One reason I can see this being the case is, of course, it's going to be cheaper for Microsoft, and it's also going to be cheaper for the consumer. Of course, without an optical drive, you won't have to pay for the optical drive. So the normal base Xbox One right now, the Xbox One S, runs you $299, but with this new Xbox One system without an optical drive, the price could be $250, or heck, I can even see this thing being $199 for the new base model if there's no optical drives. I know optical drives are dirt cheap, but if they can cut any price, or they can cut corners anywhere, then that's still saving money in their pocket, especially since they're mass producing these consoles. If you take the price of an optical drive, whatever the case may be, $30, $40, it may not seem all that much, but if you times it out by how many consoles that they're mass producing, then that adds up over time. And if they can save money anywhere, then that's great for them, but it's also great for the consumers because we're saving money too when it comes to this system. I think another reason why Microsoft wants to make this system is because they're actually talking about next-gen hardware, the Xbox 2 or the Xbox 720, whatever the case may be. But when the true next-gen comes out, they're talking about how they want to make an all-cloud gaming-based setup where maybe you're playing games in the cloud, kind of like with what they're doing now with the Xbox Games Pass system, where you pretty much play games online, kind of like a Netflix based subscription, or maybe you only buy games digitally. And if they come out with this Xbox One that's coming out early 2019, then by doing this, they might get people ready and might get people more comfortable of buying games online digitally. And if a lot of people are more accustomed to buying games digitally, then when next generation comes out, and we know that games are only going to be played maybe through the cloud or be played digital only because there's no physical media anymore, I think a lot more people will be comfortable next generation, and there won't really be too much of an outrage, and people are more comfortable of getting used to playing games digitally. But if they don't make this system, then some people today still don't buy their games digitally. They may be outraged when the next Xbox comes out and they find out that the next Xbox only does cloud gaming, digital distribution, because that's the way Microsoft is trying to do next generation apparently. And that's one reason why I can see them making this Xbox One without an optical drive. Overall, this is just some interesting news that Xbox is trying to make this that Microsoft is trying to make this Xbox One without optical drive, which means that you won't be using any digital media. I think it's a kind of interesting move. I think they're really doing a smart idea by allowing you to trade in physical copies of games for digital codes. I think that's the way to go. That's 100% better than what Sony did. They kind of pissed off the fans by not allowing them to take their PSP collection and upgrade it to the PSP Go. I just wonder what the base model is going to be when it comes when this new Xbox One comes out. That's digital only. There is a number of good things about not having an optical drive, as well as the fact that you won't have to put in an optical drive into an Xbox, so the Xbox should be very small. We know with the Xbox One line of families, they're just very big, so it's going to be nice that we will be getting a shrunken down Xbox One. Of course, it will be digital only, and I wonder what the hard drive space is going to be on this next Xbox. Is it going to be 500 gig for the base model, 1 terabyte? I'm assuming they would want to go 1.5, 2 terabyte, or at least with the base model, at least give us 1 terabyte. Sure, 1 terabyte nowadays is not all that big. You really should go with 2, 3, 4 terabyte, considering games are 80, 90 gig a piece, and they're very, very, very they take up a lot of space, basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm assuming they'd want to go high with this. But even if they only gave us 1 terabyte in this new diskless base Xbox One, of course, they'll probably allow you to plug in like a hard drive or a USB stick. And of course, you know, if you plug in a hard drive to your Xbox One system, you can go 2, 3, 4, 5 terabyte. You can pretty much get the biggest hard drive you could possibly get when it comes to external hard drives for their system. So I guess that'll remedy the problem of the low memory if they only give us like 1 terabyte inside this digital distribution only Xbox One. Anyway, that's pretty much interesting news. Again, these are only rumors, and we really don't have any proof if this is actually coming out, but I can definitely see this coming out since Microsoft is thinking about next generation hardware and they want to do stuff like cloud gaming and digital distribution only. I can see this coming out early 2019. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out. Boo!